Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So today I decided I'm going to start my first sewing project, which will be my orange double circle skirt. So I'm going to show you how I go through that today. So let's go. Okay, so here is my plan of action. I'm doing 2 circles. One is going to be slightly bigger than the other one, just because I'm going for a bit of a high-low kind of look. This is how many pattern pieces I'm going to need. And this, of course, is the skirt. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys how I make the pattern. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so to start off with, I'm using my right angled ruler just to get 2 straight lines. This will help me out later on when I'm starting to try and draw a circle. Had to stop for a second to let Melon up onto his chair. He's just being a bit of a sook. So yeah, I'm just going to draw a line going up from the bottom. I'm using the edge of the paper as one of the lines for the angle, and then I'm going to draw a line right to the edge of the paper, and I'll come back in with my bigger metal ruler to work out where I need to start each circle. Okay, so to draw out the circle, I'm using my measuring tape. This one has a hole in the end of it to allow for a pencil, and I'm also using my stiletto. So I'm going to punch the stiletto into the starting point, if I don't drop it, into the starting point of the circle, and then I'm going to use the end that has a hole in it in order to make the curve. So with this pattern, I'm doing essentially an all-in-one pattern. So I'm creating the bigger pattern, and then I'm going to add the smaller pieces of the pattern onto this as well. And as I go, I'll cut the piece apart just to use the parts that I need to cut out each pattern piece. The table was a little bit too short, so I had to go in with the book on the other end just so I could finish drawing the circle at the tallest end that it's going to be. So I've currently got a quarter of a circle, and I need to half this as I'm doing this into 8s. So I'm going to fold this in half, make a crease, and then use the crease as the halfway point, just so I can cut this out. I'm also going to add 2 centimeters of seam allowance to the crease, just so I can add this onto the skirt. I do already have some seam allowance already into this. I'm just adding a bit more because I'm going to do a French seam to seal up the sides of the skirt. Now that I have my main pattern piece, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a curve. The whole idea of this, because it's a high-low kind of skirt, I need the front and the back to have essentially a transition piece in between, just so I'll have a smooth line when I go to join them. So I'll cut this out later on after I've cut the biggest pieces first, then I'll cut this section out, cut the 2 pieces that I need in order to create the transition pieces, and then I'll cut down to the shorter circle. And then later on when I go to put this all together, it should all just be one smooth line going through. Okay, so I've cut out these 6 pieces for the back. These are the bigger pieces. So I'll put these aside for now, and I'm going to cut the pattern just so I can make the transition pieces, and I'll cut 2 of those out, and then I will go in and I'll cut the little section off to get to the shorter circle, and I will cut out the 8 pieces that would be for the front. Okay, so I've cut out all the pattern pieces, but I did run into a slight snag. When I was cutting out the last of the second skirt pieces, I was only able to get 7 pieces, not 8. Luckily though, I did add some extra seam allowance into it when I was doing the pattern. So I'm hoping that if I just maybe use a slightly bit less seam allowance on the piece of the pattern, I should still get it to fit. So I'm going to start putting together the first half of the skirt. So I'll see you guys in a sec once I've gotten that put together. Okay, so I'm going to start stitching the pieces together. So I'm using a French seam method to seal the edges in. So to do that, you put the wrong sides together and you sew a small seam allowance, usually about 1/2 centimeter. You'll then go in and trim that down. And then in order to finish the seam, you'll iron it, turn it right sides together, and then you'll stitch it again. And this will seal the raw edge into a seam, leaving you with a nice clean seam on the inside. So this is what it looks like after you've finished creating the French seam. As you can see on the inside, you can see the stitching and you can see that the raw edge has been sealed in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this to the rest of the pieces of the front, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so I finished sewing together the 7 pieces for the front. So here we go. This is what it looks like so far. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy with how it's turned out. It needs a bit of an iron, just a little bit because it's been around. But yeah, so far it's worked out so good. The fit seems to be going all right as well. Taking off that bit of seam allowance seems to have helped. So it's sitting where it should sit. But yeah, so I'm probably going to end this video off here with this. And then I will start working on the second half of this where I show you making the back of it. And I'm also going to put pockets in this as well. I'm going to try a technique I've never done before, which is putting a inseam pocket into a French seam. Never done that before, but I've seen a couple tutorials online, so I'm going to give it a shot. And I'll also show you guys how I put the zipper and the waistband on. So yeah, thanks for coming along for this one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!